There's a very popular phrase that guys online love to quote when they talk about giving up on the unfair demands placed on them by society and entitled women today. And that saying is, the only way to win is not to play. And while it's a clever saying, and I know what it's trying to imply, that men don't have to play stupid games if they choose not to, although the phrase has never sat well with me, because it's kind of dishonest to guys who are actually looking for a solution with women and relationships and not a solution without women. Not to mention that I think the phrase encourages people to give up on themselves while thinking they're doing the opposite. Okay, so it goes without saying that people who follow my channel and watch my videos know that I empathize with men about the idea that today's entitled woman, who might be a 3 in looks and a -10 in personality, is constantly demanding of a man far more than she's prepared to give of herself, or even capable of, really. I understand the guy's frustration. It's reached the point of a joke now between men and women, and I know why guys give up pursuing. Heck, I did. I understand completely. You try and you try, you offer more and more, because ostensibly, it doesn't seem to matter what you do, no matter how you try to solve that love puzzle. Because every failed relationship, to me anyway, started to resemble the last one I had. Every interaction with women seemed to follow a very familiar start, middle, and finally, inevitably, end. You know, jokingly, I've often thought of asking my soon-to-be ex-girlfriend at the time, "Are you related to my ex before you and the one before her? Because you all seem like sisters that were all raised the same way." And in many ways, women are raised the same way by society's memes, but I digress. And so, why bother, a guy thinks? Why bother with hypocritical, draining, entitled women? A guy logically runs out of basic strategies that the mainstream offers up to him as ways to find love. I mean, literally, he can't think of any other ways to do things differently with women. So he takes the last drops of fuel in his tank and he uses what little is left on the remainder of his life to live simply and contently and just wanting to be left alone. He effectively retires from women and relationships. I understand the logic, gentlemen, I do. Been there, done that. But why I have a problem with this popular saying, the only way to win is not to play, is for one very glaringly obvious reason, to me anyway, and the reason is hiding in plain sight for me at the start of the phrase itself, and that is the only way to win. The only? Really? The saying proudly boasts that there's only one way to win, and that way is not to play. It quite literally says the only way to win. And I think, really, is this the level of mentorship? The only way to win something? To hold up some figurative trophy? To feel proud is to be invisible? To not show up? To do nothing? Really, is the person who holds up the trophy at the end, who wins something, somehow is that the person who isn't even there, who didn't show up? I mean, seriously, it reminds me of children who get a participation trophy. Everyone gets a medal, but at least with pandering to children, they have to at least show up and participate in the thing to win the worthless participation trophy. Being avoidant does not build character, gentlemen. I'm not saying it's not a good strategy to not play, to avoid pain, humiliation, and being used where the risks of heartbreak far, far outweigh the rewards for you. But the saying sells itself as the only guaranteed winning strategy. The only way, remember? It's dishonest, it's lazy, and it's become an axiom. What do I really want to win? That's the question I was posing to myself. Are you trying to win at life in general, or particularly and specifically in the relationship arena? Because let's be honest, the woke world today lies constantly to us in advertising. The fat person thinks they can win being sexy and desirable by doing absolutely nothing. And some guys think that they can win the relationship puzzle by doing nothing as well. You can't. You might win another game, but not the relationship one. As long as you're squarely honest with yourself and what you hope to achieve by avoidance, then go for it, I say. It's your life. But by some of the hyped up and frustrated comments some people make in the comment section while claiming that they're in some Zen mode with women, it really begs the question, are you trying to convince yourself or others? Look, if you want a black and white world of safety, then sure, win that. But adventure? Victory? No. I'm sorry, you don't get the thrills and rewards of competition and adventure by non-participation. For example, what does the passive watcher of sport win? Being safely entertained. That's all. Living vicariously through people with more courage and determination. Conversely, what does the player of sport win? If they win, that is. They feel alive, they feel legitimate victory by engaging with the world. They get legitimate actual self-esteem derived from that engagement with the world. And if they lose, perhaps a lesson, motivation, regroup, adjust, be better, try again. What I'm saying is the rewards within a game cannot be replicated outside of that game. You can't win its rewards by not playing it. You can maybe experience other things like peace, tranquility, autonomy, freedom, etc., outside of the game. But the phrase falsely suggests that you can win a game's bounty by not being there. The only way to win is not to play. It sounds clever, like a cheat code or a hack, but it's gaslighting men down a path many don't come back from. Let me offer a rephrasing of that phrase. How about something like, the only way to be completely safe from the heartbreak, loss, and devastation of relationships with women is to have nothing at all to do with them. Now, that's something I can get behind. I'd agree with that statement. Or how about the only way to satisfy the unsatisfied is not to even bother with them, and so on. But the statement, the only way to win is not to play, the way it currently stands, it makes many feel like they can actually get something for free by magic. You're not fixing the issue, you're letting it go, you're avoiding it. The phrase also suggests that you somehow perfectly cracked the game of women and relationships, and you haven't. It doesn't solve your issue, it avoids it by walking away. And fine, if you're well aware of what you're doing, then fine. I've no problem people consciously doing what they want to do. You're free to do whatever you want, but consciously being aware of what you do, there's going to be less disappointment of realizing the probable results, the probable responsibility that you'll have to deal with after that. Not experiencing loss is not equivalent to winning, gentlemen. And this is what many guys who want companionship with women fall for when they find religion in that statement, the only way to win is not to play. It's like, hallelujah, I found the answer. Cheat code locked in. I'm going to use this all the time. I'm going to hit that one button on the joystick. Okay. I'd like you to think about something when you hear the phrase, the only way to win is not to play. Does it make you feel alive, or does it make you feel like something fragile in a museum, locked away, kept safe? I'll end this video with a quote. When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. I would add that if you take calculated risks on top of that, your odds improve immensely. Have a think about it. Is not playing really the only path to victory? What do you win? And if not, then what could it be for you? Really, let me know your thoughts below. And if you enjoyed this video, share it with someone, join, subscribe, all the good stuff. Good to chat with you again. Catch you later.